So everyone wants to know what you girls think of the piggies.
I think they're adorable, but like bacon.
What do you think?
I think they are adorable and cute, but I don't think I could ever eat them.
What about the KuneKune sausage you ate the other night?
It was all right.
Yesterday a downpour and cloudy. Today beautiful weather. This weather has just been so polar opposite from one day to the next. It's so extreme. It goes from like 70, 80 degrees down to freezing weather and then rain and then back to full-on sunny days. So anytime we're getting a nice break in the weather like this, we got to get outside and get some stuff done. You saw we had a little hiatus last week. We spent the whole entire week cutting down the widowmakers. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll leave a link to it up above. And this week we are going to work with the KuneKune pigs. So what are we going to be doing? We are going to be putting up an electric fence and training these pigs on the electric fence. Now, long ago, a couple years ago, when we were first getting into chickens, long before we even had a YouTube channel, we did a whole bunch of research on what the best investment would be for us to fence in our poultry to protect them from predators. And in all of our research, what we came up with was Premier One fencing. This is something that a lot of permaculture people used successfully. And so what we ended up going with here was the Premier One 64-foot poultry net, which has been absolutely wonderful. We used this on our suburban lot. It worked great. We now have moved this off grid. We got the Intellishock solar charger to go with it to electrify the fence, and this thing has worked great. We currently only use it at nighttime to keep out predators, but if we ever leave the property or anything like that, then we do use this to keep the chickens in. And because we had such great luck with this, we decided to reach out to Premier and say, hey, we'd love to test your hog fencing, because hog fencing is something else that they make. And surprisingly enough, they got back to us and sent us 200-foot fences and an Intellishock 60 to test on our KuneKune pigs. So that's what we're going to set up today. We're going to try and put it inside of the hog panels that we have right here, and we are going to get them used to the electric fence. They are not going to like this, but what is the general consensus when training your pigs on a fence is you want to have the electric fence on the inside of some other fence, so that if they hit the fence and get spooked and they try to plow forward, that they hit a second barrier and they know not to go near that fence. So that's what we have set up here, and that's what we're going to try to do. Now the little challenge that we have here is that our fence is a 100-foot fence, and I believe this fencing combined is about 96 feet. So we're gonna have to figure out how to double back a little bit to make it fit inside this fence, or we're gonna have to come up with some other solution. So we're gonna get started on that. Our piggies are enjoying the sun as much as we are. Just kind of lounging around, taking a nap. All right, so let me go over what Premier One has sent us. They sent us 2 of their feral hog nets, which are 100 foot in length and 24 inches high. They have about, I think, 3 different types of hog netting, and this particular one is used to exclusively for keeping out feral hogs, if you have feral hogs in the area. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because I just found out fairly recently that this area has a lot of wild pigs, a lot of wild boars in this area, and it's something that I did not know was around here. If you guys remember from my first video, when I introduced the KuneKune pigs, I mentioned that we were not going to castrate these 3 males because as long as they weren't around any females, there shouldn't be any issues with taint. However, if there is a feral hog presence in the area, that actually does change the rules a little bit, the game a little bit. Actually, I'm waiting for a phone call back from a vet to see about getting these guys castrated because of the feral hogs in the area. Also, feral hogs can do a lot of damage to your fences, and they could potentially harm your livestock or bring in diseases or whatnot. So we specifically wanted the feral hog netting, and that is what they sent us. On top of that, they sent us an Intellishock 60, This is the charger. It is a solar charger with a solar panel on it. This is stronger than the one that we use on our poultry net. And then they sent us a couple poles and a fence charger. So we're gonna go ahead and get one of these fences set up. Now, why the additional fence? Well, for one, we can use it to expand the fence whenever we want to, but also if we have them contained in a 100-foot fence, oh, piggy battle. So why the two different fences? Well, if we have them contained in a 100-foot fence and we want to move them along the pasture, we'd set up the second 100-foot fence and then just kind of open it up and shoo them into the next fence. And that's a way we can rotate them around the property. So that is why we went with two different fences. So let's get started. We're going to see if we can set this up inside and fit it inside of our hog panel. See this guy sitting inside of the water dish? This is why we need to get a giant 55-gallon drum with a little pig dish on it.
Pig nipple, pig water.
Pig water. What are you eating in there? All right, so we got our hog netting set up inside of our hog panels. Again, the hog netting is 100 feet. Our hog panels ended up being somewhere around 96 feet. So we kind of had some extra that we double backed on right here in this section. This is not ideal, but hopefully this will do the trick just to get them used to the fence, and then we can move these guys out into the yard somewhere. That's the goal here. Once we get these guys trained, we're taking down the hog panels and we're just going to use the electric fence in the yard. So this fence comes with posts that are already attached to them. I believe they're about 10 feet apart. I'll leave links down below to the hog net. You guys can look up all the stats and everything on them. And then we got 4 additional fiber posts that we put on the corners, and those just offer additional support. And you definitely want to get those to help brace the fence. Right now we're going to go hook up the Intellishock and get it hooked up to this fence, and then we'll probably hear some pigs squealing.
All right, this is the Energizer for the hog netting, and it's quite a bit more powerful than the Energizer for the poultry netting. This is the Intellishock 60, that's Intellishock 25. So it has a bigger battery, has a solar panel to charge it, and it's shipped with these bolts that you want to replace with the screwy knobs that ships with it. Now this is adjustable based on the time of year for the angle of the sun, which is handy. So we're going to put it at 60 degrees, which is about the right angle for winter time sun. And then you can tighten it down and you're good to go. So this is the battery part. When you get it, you have to open it up. It's a hinged lid. And you're going to want to connect the leads to the battery. And the leads also have a tab on each one to allow you to plug the wall charger into this, so you can take it into your house and charge it on the wall if you go a long time without sun. But typically you don't ever have to do that because it's pretty efficient. Here are the leads for connecting your alligator clips to energize the fence. Now you know it's charged because this will be green when you turn it on. If it's blinking red and green, then that means it needs charge, and if it's blinking red, it's pretty much dead, so you don't want that to happen. This is a pulse Energizer, so it sends out pulses along the wire rather than a constant Energizer, which is more efficient for the battery. Now there's another option with this particular system that allows you to make a positive negative connection if you have real dry soil. This whole system relies on moist soil for the grounding. if you have dry soil, you can hook up this PowerLink set of alligator clips that basically turns every other horizontal wire into a ground. And it puts more juice into the netting, but it also helps the grounding issue if your soil is too dry. Okay, so we're going to take this over to the fence, get her all hooked up, and test it. Has this handy dandy carrier. Look what you did. And you're standing, you are a bad pig. This is not going well. Okay, you connect your two ends together, you tie it, then you connect your two tabs, which will complete the circuit. And then you should be good to hook it up. All right, so first we put the ground stake into the bottom. It just slides in here like that. And then we'll put the face it south, obviously. Hit a rock. Okay, you got your positive and your negative alligator clips, and you connect them up to these terminals. Hi, Timmy. And here's some pig water, and this little trick will help with the ground. So we want moist soil. It's pretty moist because it's been raining, but I'm just gonna make sure it's really moist. Apparently you can't leave stuff laying around for more than 30 seconds or that happens. Hey, what makes you think you can just nap wherever you want? You're not bacon yet. You're not a pork roast yet. You can't get out of my pan. You're gonna drown. I can't tell if these things are smart or dumb. They're funny. Okay, we have our leads hooked up to the battery. If you do have the PowerLink, it allows you to do positive, negative. These would hook up to these two tabs here. That's why there's two tabs. Pretty sure. We're not going to do that because we have pretty wet ground. We don't have a grounding situation. So you ground it with the black clip to the ground stake that is underneath the Energizer. And then you hook this to the tabs that you connect the two ends of the fence together. Okay, it comes with the fence tester, which is wireless. Also, it comes with the battery, but you got to take it apart to put the battery in. All right, Piggy, you're gonna get your butt zapped Yeah, I know. Get up. Sausage. Okay, here we go. Button. Hit the button. You can hear it zapping. So now we're going to test. That's like 8,000 volts.
Oh, yep.
Works. Yeah, it works. Did you get that?
Yeah. That's hot.
You're gonna get your butt zapped. Look, it made his nose run.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah, it's 8,000. That should not take too long for them to figure out. They're pretty smart. Don't come up here.
Look, I'm going. I'm debating. Do I want to go up there and touch it? Here we go. It's upsetting the chickens.
They don't like to be squealed at. Come back there.
Maybe we should move the hut forward. Hmm?
They'll figure out not to go back. Now they're all jumpy. I think that's our only safe spot. They're like, the heck with this, we're going to bed. Well, the only other thing left to do is hook up your sign so people don't touch it, because it is hot. Piggies are in bed. We're just gonna monitor them for the next few days, and I think they'll learn quick not to root up against the fence. It's caused quite a disturbance around here, but they're okay. It doesn't hurt them. That's that.
All right, so our pig fence is hooked up. You saw our pigs being trained on the fence. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for them, but it's actually super important that they do get trained on the electric fence. In particular, over the last couple of days, when I bring out food to them, they get so excited seeing the food that they put their little hooves up on this hog panel. And that's all cute when they're 15 pounds, but that's not going to be so cute when they're 100 pounds. So we want to make sure that they get trained on this fence and that they know to stay away from the electric fence. And as I said, once they get fully trained on this, we will take this hog panels out of here, and we will take the fence and start moving it around the yard, and hopefully this will be enough protection from other things that might want to get the pigs and also prevent the pigs from getting out as well. We've talked to a lot of other farmers who use just fencing. Actually, they use just tape fencing too, and they say that, you know, it works for them for as far as predators and as far as keeping pigs in. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be training these pigs. They will be in here for the next couple of weeks getting used to this hot fence, and hopefully it works. It seems like it's going to, and this will be a nice addition to our farm and to enable us to pasture rotate our pigs on the little bit of grass that we have. So what do I think about the pigs after about 2 weeks? These guys are super easy. I'm so glad that I got them. A lot of people were concerned that these guys might interfere with some of the other projects that we have going on in the homestead. These took 2 days to set up, and then of course we spent the day, you know, setting up the electric fence. Super, super easy to take care of. Easiest animal that I have taken care of yet. All I do is come out, make sure that they have hay, make sure that they have water, and actually the water is the hardest part because they've been climbing in this dish. So we do need to get the 55-gallon barrel and the pig nipple waters set up for these guys. But making sure their water's clean, and then I give them 2 cups of feed in the morning, 2 cups of feed at night, and then a couple scraps that I have laying around in the kitchen. That's it. That's it. They're super easy. They sometimes will do light grunts for me to come down and scratch their belly, or Jeremy to come down and scratch their belly. As you can tell, they're pretty lovey animals. They are going to be processed in December. Some people are asking if we're going to keep them as pets. No, they are not pets. These are a way for us to see if we like raising pigs. So far we do, and once we process these in December, if we want, we might end up getting breeding stock sometime next year or the following year. So hope that's been helpful to you guys. We'll be doing an update video on the pigs and the fencing and how that's working, and then obviously showing you guys as we rotate them when we start doing that. That won't be for at least another couple weeks, probably sometime, I want to say April or May. So look for those videos coming out, and of course we'll keep you updated on other things. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Okay, this is the tester. To test your fence, you can hit the button and it'll hit red. That's basically to check the battery in it to make sure it works. Then you can put it right up against your energized fence. And it's green at 8,000 volts. So it's super hot. Why are you in your water? What the heck?
He wants his belly rubbed.
He just passed out on my foot.
He wants his belly rubbed.
Really? These guys are funny. The magic pig button. They're like fainting pigs. It just puts them right to sleep. They're funny.